just want to be part of something. And to share that purpose that the organization has. So, when you're in closure, you really have to, before closing out completely on the transition and being confident that everything's great and you're going to do just fine, it's a good time for leadership to examine what's called the 4 P's. Purpose, picture, plan, and part. Is the purpose to the transition understood by everybody? If you still have people in the organization that don't understand why we went through this transition, where the company is going, what they're going to do, then you still have a lot of fear and a lot of uncertainty out there. They don't all have to agree with it, but they have to have a clear understanding of what the purpose is. They can always have a difference of opinion, but if they're not educated, if they're not clear, then their resentment, their fear will surface through the work that they do. Is there a clear picture, an actual mental picture of where the organization is going and its goals? Over time, an organization may become so institutional that it's merely just a place for people to show up, put in their 8 hours, and go home. And at the end of the day, other than money, they don't know why they go to work, and they're just happy to go home when they're done with their work. This is probably not the healthiest work environment or the healthiest environment for an organization. A lot of organizations, if there's no picture of the organization, if there's no picture of its goals, then there's nothing to transmit down the line or across the organization. And it's one of the sure signs that that organization will not be around very long. Is there a plan in place for people to look to for guidance during times of uncertainty? This will not be an organization will not have just one transition and be done with it and never have one again. There will be another transition. You may have multiple transitions going on at the same time within an organization. So these transition phases are opportunities to create plans, to put them in place so that people have boundaries and they can expect certain things and find some comfort in that predictability. Having a plan to deal with a situation is just as good, if not better, than planning for, than thinking that a situation is going to turn out a certain way. Because you can be wrong. So planning is better than a prediction, in my opinion. Also, one of the most important parts to actually having closure to any type of transition is, does everybody still feel like part of the organization? If there's people that do not feel like they're part of an organization, it is important that they be revisited and that the purpose and the picture of the organization somehow be brought back to them again so that they can feel like they're part of that transition. Feeling like you're part of an organization, feeling like you're part of your work, gives people a sense of power, a sense of completeness that I feel is necessary for any long-term health of an organization. So hopefully, as I've talked about the 3 phases of transition, about letting go, about your neutral zone, and tackling and resolving uncertainties, and then finally the ending phase of closure, and how it's really just a new beginning, you have a good idea of what to expect when in your personal life or when you go through an organizational change at your place of work or perhaps within your community. when you have a clear understanding of how transitions work within an organization, and you can become aware of how transitions are working in the minds of others within your organization, hopefully you will be a better leader, and hopefully you will be better adept to help others go through periods of transition. And that was really what the Managing Transitions class was all about through the OLS curriculum. Personally, how have I applied this? I've actually applied this in so many ways without even noticing it. But the key to me managing my own personal transitions and what I've took out of this class is that organization, creativity, and education are just super important and always have been to me. While the OLS curriculum is really good, at least in my experiences, at providing education and creative opportunities, I do feel that the Managing Transitions class missed out on an opportunity to provide a technical lesson that would improve the organizational skills that we as future leaders will probably be required to have, or that if we have, will separate us out from others that don't have it. In the course, we used 3 additional books along with the textbook that were very nice. However, in today's modern technological world, we could have used Microsoft Groove, Microsoft Outlook, Visio. There's a lot of things to do with PDFs, PDF creation. There's a lot of Google applications out there. There's workspaces and portals that could have all been, that are pretty standard practice as far as their use in today's workplace, that could have been part and a requirement to the transitions class. I think one of the best ways to really go through managing transitions is to actually maybe have the class go through a transition itself. So for the class to pick up a new technological skill that's beyond Word, beyond PowerPoint, would have really given us something to talk about and study and to reflect back on, and instead of just kind of theoretically browsing over the topics that have been browsed over in several of the other OLS classes. So hopefully you'll be encouraged to take the Managing Transitions OLS class and continue with your OLS degree and have a good time doing it. And thank you very much. Have a good day.